the man was astonished to find, in the murky pool of the primeval forest, a woman bathing inside. Her skin was smooth and her figure graceful. The man couldn't help but stare a few more times. Just as the woman turned around, his companion suddenly appeared. When the man looked back at the pool, the woman had already vanished. Thinking he had seen things, he paid little attention. But as soon as the two left, the woman surfaced from the water. Meanwhile, mercenaries led by David were hunting a giant python. Suddenly, a scream rang out. As the sound drew closer, everyone immediately entered combat mode. The woman quickly put on thermal imaging goggles and scanned the surroundings. At that moment, David turned and fired a shot. The men turned to check, but found nothing. Only then did David lower his guard and put down his pistol. But just then, a chill came from behind. A woman slowly stood up. David sensed something was wrong at once. He turned to fire, but the woman lunged at them swiftly. She grabbed a soldier and dashed into the woods. Before the group could recover, the serpent woman charged out again. With a flick of her tail, she knocked everyone to the ground. Seeing the vice captain acting arrogantly, the serpent woman rushed over and hung her on a tree, wrapped her with her tail, and ran toward the woods. Luckily, John arrived just in time, grabbed the vice captain, and pulled her down hard. Seeing this, the serpent woman released the vice captain and attacked John. The men seized the chance to open fire, and the serpent woman fled into the woods. They thought she had left, but unexpectedly she charged straight at John. However, she was caught on the spot by John and his brother. The serpent woman broke free violently and quickly escaped into the woods. John located her by sound, threw an iron hook and trapped her on a tree. Seeing her struggling wildly, the men quickly threw lassos. Finally, they successfully captured the serpent woman. David drew a dagger and stepped forward slowly, stabbing it into the serpent woman's back. Little did he know, this act would cost him dearly. Later, the mercenaries locked the serpent woman in an iron cage. Just then, the mercenaries suddenly knocked John to the ground and dragged him and the serpent woman into a cave. They extracted blood and bone marrow from the serpent woman, then injected them into the female boss. It turned out the woman was 80 years old, yet her skin and face looked only 30. This was because she had long extracted essence from snakes and injected it into her body to stay young forever. What's more, she sold the extracted essence and protein to wealthy women at high prices. It took 1,000 snakes to produce just 1 milligram of essence. Now, only a little blood and bone marrow from the serpent woman could yield over 100 milligrams of essence. But when she saw the serpent woman's face, she froze instantly.
把主屏幕放大。
是。
停。
Only then did she realize this was the little girl she had captured as a test subject 30 years ago. Back then, to obtain massive amounts of essence, she injected snake genes into the girl's body. As a result, the girl mutated into a half-human, half-snake monster and fled deep into the mountains. When the machine alarmed that the test subject was abnormal, the woman understood at once.
他是故意被抓的。
She quickly ordered her men to release nerve-paralyzing gas. When the smoke cleared, the serpent woman was gone. She had already torn open the iron cage, rushed into the warehouse, and released all the small snakes. A battle between humans and snakes began.